Folks, we got an update on the honeybee die-off and widespread colony losses. Here it is.
So I don't know if you've seen this video before, but America is really struggling with bee populations right now. This winter has been absolutely just horrendous for beekeepers in America. They're seeing massive colony losses. So generally in the UK, you get maybe 20% colony loss. So if you've got 100 beehives, you lose 20. So as of February, the end of February, they're reporting on average that they are losing 62% of their colonies. So in the UK, bee farmers, they have like maybe 200, 300 hives, or I think you've got a few that are like 500. The number that have like 1,000 beehives, you can count on like your hands. But in America, the average is like they have thousands of beehives per farmer. So that is a lot of beehives. And for 62% of them to be dying off, that's a vast, vast, vast amount of bees being lost, all because of this winter. Now the question is, why is this happening? And to be honest, they don't know. They have no idea. I've been talking to different bee farmers that I know, and they're thinking maybe there's a new disease that they haven't been able to figure out yet. Like, we haven't found it, but maybe it's a bee disease that's finishing off these beehives. But we've not seen anything like this before. It's catastrophic, and they're generally worried that they won't be able to do pollination contracts in the USA, because that is a massive thing, a massive industry in the USA is pollination. They travel up and down the country, all over with thousands and thousands of beehives, and yeah, it's a big, big industry, and they're losing like 62% of their colonies. That is going to make a massive difference for their crops. And I hate to say it, but we've been losing a lot more beehives as well. Now, fortunately, I know from my experience that I've only been losing them from starvation. That could be because it was a mild winter. It was very humid, though. That's something that I think might have caused a bit of an issue for me. And those storms that absolutely wrecked my hives, that was bad as well. But there's some bee farmers that I know of that have lost massive amounts of bees as well. And that's in the UK, that's down south. And they're a bit unsure on what's caused it as well. They can't find any disease signs, and they don't think it's starvation as well. So that's interesting. And the question is, why am I telling you this? It's because it's important. This is important. If it is a disease, then we are seeing the start of it all right now. It could be like the COVID of bees, you know? Or it could be something else. It could be the fact that climate change has finally reached that peak and it's turned over, gone downhill, and now the bees are starting to suffer and die off. And they're just the indicators that maybe we're in trouble. Maybe climate change has hit us. Either way, it's worrying for a bee farmer like me and other bee farmers in this country and probably all over the world, because we're seeing what's happening in America and we're concerned because it could be us next. So is there anything that we can do to help them? Not really from the UK, but if you're in America, there are some things that you can do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this guy and let him explain. Bye.
It's really hard to say how to help, but the first thing I would say is to, if you can, make any donation whatsoever to Project Apis M. They're the research and science going on behind the scenes on trying to figure out what's going on. And the other thing is, and this isn't even like a plug for us, is just to buy raw honey from your local beekeeper. Whatever state you're in, however close you can get, whatever beekeeper you can find, just buying US-made honey is more important now than it ever has been.